What is wrong with Glory, Kinkajou, and Moonwatcher?
How do you not like Kinkajou?
You don't like Glory, but Glory is my all-time favorite. What is wrong with Glory, Kinkajou, and Moonwatcher?
Okay, I get it. I get it. I got a lot of explaining to do, and I'm gonna do it right now. I also just want to say before this video starts, I'm not angry, upset, or sad with any of these comments. I never get upset with comments, really. They're just comments. They're just random people who I don't know on the internet. Honestly, I find them all funny in this video. Like, every time I read one, I laughed a little bit. So please, don't go attacking any of these people. Just leave them be. These are their opinions. This is my opinion. It's just the way it is. So this was a short I made called 10 Things I Hate About You, and it was a sequel after I was told I did a trend wrong the first time. The first time I just threw characters in that I thought fit the lyrics, but then people thought I didn't like those characters, so I had to clarify what was going on. And then I was finally just like, well, I like the audio, why not make another one, but with characters I actually don't like? And then I couldn't think of characters I didn't like, so I was like, okay, I'll make characters I wouldn't like if I met them. And for some reason, even though it was at the beginning of the video, a lot of people missed that part and assumed that I hated these characters, which I don't. So I'm going to go over this little short and clarify some things because I think it would be a cool video and a nice way for me to get my rage out about some of these characters and to explain that I actually do love some of these characters, I just wouldn't in real life. Quick disclaimer, again, it's been a while since I've read these books, and I also didn't read Arc 3, so I don't really know what happened in Arc 3, and maybe these characters that I don't like got better. Just keep that in mind. You can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about something, I'm totally fine with that, but just keep in mind that I haven't read the third arc. I know this sentence is a bit of a mouthful and probably hard to read within like a couple seconds, so let me just explain. I love almost all the characters that I put into that short as characters. The villains especially. Joey seems to have a gift for writing good villains, and it shows. I do like Magnificent, Scarlet, Chameleon, and Darkstalker as villains. Characters. Fictional characters. But if they were real people, I would hate them. Villains are meant to be hated by people and other characters, so you know, it's good character writing. I enjoy reading about them. But if somehow Scarlet got teleported out of a book and was standing right in front of me and talked with me, I would hate her. She's a bitch. Why wouldn't I hate her?
He's talking crazy.
Then there's other dragons that I like an enemy. I feel like she's really well developed in the books, and Toy did a good job with writing her. She's obviously got some mommy issues, hence the lyrics, and she seeks freedom and independence because of that. But she's still a bit of a spoiled brat due to being raised royal, and not knowing anything else other than that life. I like her as a character, but if I were to meet someone who's a spoiled brat in real life, I would cringe, because brats are annoying. Spoiled people just are not fun to be around. Deathbringer and Whirlpool. And these two have their own section because, honestly, I didn't really notice them when reading the books. I knew I didn't like them, but I also didn't care enough to, like, hate them. So, Whirlpool should be pretty obvious, I would hope. He can go die in a hole.
Why you bullying me?
And his name is John C.
He sucks. We can all agree on that. I don't think there's anybody who wouldn't agree with that. And then Deathbringer is where I feel like there's a little more controversy, because there's a lot of people who do like him, a lot of people who don't, and me personally, I'm just like, I don't really like cocky characters.
You need to shut the up.
I didn't really care about him in book 3, and after book 3 he wasn't that prevalent other than being there with Glory every so often, so I just didn't give a shit about him. Don't hate him, don't like him, he's just kinda like, I wouldn't want to meet you in real life, and I don't really love reading about you, but I don't hate you.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
I don't like Kinkajou, Moonwatcher, and Glory. Give me a chance to explain myself, and then you can go and rage in the comments. I was originally going to talk about Moonwatcher and Kinkajou separately, and I still will, but I think it's important to say that a lot of my reasons for not liking them stem from book 6, so we're just gonna go over book 6 real quick. Book 6 is the second book in the series that just really bored me when I read it. The other one was Winter Turning, and then kinda Hidden Kingdom, but not really. When I reread it through the graphic novel, I realized why it might have bored me. Book 6 is reminiscent of a mix between Disney Channel original shows and a cringe Wattpad YN story. Stick with me here. Moonwatcher is like the main character, also known as YN. Kinkajou is the quirky sidekick, Winter is the emo bad boy and the first love interest in the series, and Kibble is the more jock-type guy who's the second love interest in the series. The book in general is about the main character going to a new school with new people she's never met before and discovering who she is as a person, but she's also hiding a dark secret. That trope, especially new kid, new school, has been used a lot, and I'm personally no longer a fan of it. I can see why other people might be interested in it still, but I've just seen so much media with it to the point that I'm just sick of it. So looking at Moon specifically, I don't really hate her, more I hate some of her choices that just frustrated the hell out of me. Like with the Darkstalker plot. So Moonwatcher in there is just so goddamn oblivious to the fact that Darkstalker is evil. If I remember correctly, she tries to free him at one point. After all her friends were like, don't do that. And while I get it, yes, she's young, she's naive, it's just so frustrating to watch. It makes me even angrier that after he got out, she was still on his side for a long, long time. Which I've heard some people be like, oh, it's part of Darkstalker's enchantment. Darkstalker specifically excluded her from it because he wanted at least one person who authentically liked him. Moon is a genuine dumbass for trusting the obviously evil guy who is shown to be evil countless times. So reading about a trope I don't like combined with a character who frustrates me is why I don't like Moon. Then there's Kinkajou. I hate her. I won't even sugarcoat that. I genuinely hate her, and rereading book 6 reminded me all the reasons why. Honestly, that short I made should have just been Kinkajou. I like Arc 1 Kinkajou, just not Arc 2 Kinkajou. Arc 1 Kinkajou was a child, a baby. This is shown by her size in comparison to every other dragon there, and the way that she acts. She's a kid who does kid things, which makes sense. She's supposed to be like that, she's a child. Then we get to Arc 2. She's still acting like a child despite obviously having grown up. I can't quite remember where it was some kind of interview, but Toy said at one point that Moonwatcher was 14 in book 6, and her and Kinkajou are the same age. So Kinkajou is 14 in book 6. I figured, without going into like the depths of the aging system and the Wings of Fire timeline, Kinkajou was anywhere from 5 to 6 in book 3, and then she was teenager in book 6. So the fact that Kinkajou at the age of 14 is still acting like an immature, annoying, overly happy kid pisses me off. I don't like immature characters, and I don't like immature people. She didn't seem to improve for me personally in the rest of the arc. Then again, she was also knocked out for a good chunk of that, so what do I know? I think she was okay in book 10, but there is one thing that I can still remember being upset about when I first read the book. This is gonna sound really odd, but hear me out. The strawberry scene. I think it was a cool idea because, you know, Darkstalker didn't deserve his powers, he was a psychopath, but he was still getting a second chance at his life, and Flo Slayer was getting a second chance to raise him. So the part that made me angry was when someone, I can't remember who, noticed Peacemaker had some sort of Rainwing feature. I think that she was like,
oh, silly me, I made him have Rainwing.
I think it was just because it came from Kinkajou, but this made me angry, which just says a lot about how much I hate her. If what I said wasn't enough, the screenshots that are playing during this segment should be more than enough for why I hate her. So here we are at the end, and now I gotta say some more things. Again, this is all just my opinions. You don't have to agree with me, and I actually discourage agreeing with me if you haven't read the books and haven't come up with opinions of your own. Go do your own research, make your own opinions, don't just get your from me, please. That's not good. And if you do disagree with me, tell me why in the comments. Preferably, don't do this, but just tell me what you think and we can have a civil discussion about it. I think that would be cool. I like hearing other people's opinions, and sometimes it even drives me to do more research and realize, oh hey, I might have been wrong about something. Which, I could have been wrong about something in this video and somebody might want to correct me. I'm cool with that. So, on that note, I hope you all have a nice day or night, and I'll see you eventually. Bye!